Of Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Bamboo out of Bogota, Colombia. I'm here in the booth, Becky Thompson with Emmy Fitzgerald. And Emmy, what do you think we're going to see today?
Well, we have a really exciting matchup with Fusion. They're seeded 23rd, and then Bamboo is seeded 34th, both in the same pool. But as we've already seen so far with several upsets happening, don't let the seedings fool you. And what I really love is that Colombia always has very, very aggressive, excited play. You'll see lots of bids and lots of layouts from them, whereas Fusion, they are also very athletic. They have a lot of international experience as well, playing in some of these Canadian national teams that they'll bring with them to this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of athleticism on this field right now. Bogota coming third place at Columbia Nationals last year. They lost a tough semifinal, but they're very happy to be here in the third spot. Fusion in a similar position, losing another tough semifinal. Unfortunately, they lost the third place game, managed to get a fourth bid to this tournament. But both these teams, I think they could be quite evenly matched. We'll look out for players like Juanita McAllister and Sarah Mexstroth picking up here with Bamboo. And on the other hand, we've got Alexa Kovacs, who will be a general of the offense here for Fusion as well.
And if you see a familiar face in the huddle of this Fusion talk here, that is Mark Lloyd. He is a part-time coach for this Fusion team, and you can see giving some words of advice and direction to these ladies, where his team is also here watching as well.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the General Strike men's team sitting on the bleachers on the far side, here to support their women. They have a very good ultimate culture in Winnipeg, a very close community, so it's great to see them out here. Bogota getting set into their huddle now as well. We're going to see Bogota in the blue jerseys and Fusion in the white, getting set here to start off this game.
And there are a few other ladies who have previously played with Revolution, the first seeded, or highest seeded, I should say, Colombian team in this women's division. And that experience of also playing in the TEP tournament year after year, the Colombian government pays for travel for elite teams from all over to come compete, and being able to play against the best, just what do you think, Becky, that really does for a community like this?
I think it's absolutely, it's unparalleled to what other communities have been able to offer their teams. It gives you an opportunity to not worry about the financial burden of playing Ultimate, which is something that I know a lot of us do constantly worry about. So the ability to go and play without that pressure of trying to get to a tournament, I think it allows you to just focus on the game in a different way.
Exactly. And you can see the dramatic improvement from Colombia as well. But then on the other side of the disc, Canada Ultimate, very, very strong. A lot of great players.
We have a number of this team who've all played for national teams, be it at the U20 level, the U24 level this year in Perth, the senior level as well. A number of these women were just coming back from Australia who are ready on the line now. You can see Karen Hatch, Anya Snyder down there, Sarah Norden, all of these players, Amy Lamb as well. So 4 of them already on the line, U24 national team athletes for Canada. So a young team, but a lot of fiery experience on there as well. Alexa Kovacs bringing in that experience. So going to be an interesting game. We're getting ready for the first pull here. It looks like Fusion will be starting us off on defense, pulling from the left side of your screen. A little bit of wind coming in here now, Emmy, as well. You see the flags. If we shoot over to the right side of the screen, we can see the flags billowing now a little bit. So a little bit of wind. We didn't have that in the earlier rounds.
No, and there was a bit of drizzle and cloud cover to start the morning rounds, but now that is starting to dissipate, so perhaps the wind is blowing that too.
Big pull in now from Karen Hatch as Bamboo will get us started, centering to the middle. It's like a little bit of contact upfield.
Right off the bat, it looks like Maria Fernanda Galindo is the one who took a bit of a tumble.
Shoots around. Karen Hatch will get to that one. Just a little bit too close there to Sandoval as she tried to get around Hatch, but an outstretched arm gets that D. So Hatch will pick up. Hatch looks up line, looking for Snyder. And that is just out of her reach. She tries to bid to it, but credit to the Bamboo defender who got there first as well. That's Sarah Boulis with the defense for Bamboo. Boulis now. Looking for an inside option, and it's scooped up in the middle by Galindo. Finds an inside option. Bamboo trying to swing the field here, find the space. Big Huck comes up to a wide open offender. And Martinez finds her dump. Bamboo 10 yards outside of the end zone. Just looking for an option, finds Boulis. Boulis shoots around, a little hand block touch there by Lamb, but Bamboo keeps possession. Galindo finds a reset in Boulis. A nice inside shot to Galindo. Galindo kind of going one every other throw here right now for Bamboo as she finds her reset again. Bamboo showing some good patience here. That's Juanita McAllister. Watch out for her with the disc. Looks for an around option, and that's too far, unfortunately, for the outstretched arms of Galindo, trying to get yet another throw there for Bamboo, and we will have an opportunity here for Fusion to get a break.
Already turning into a long point in this first point of the game. Bamboo probably frustrated. They worked it all the way down and haven't converted.
Snyder shoots deep, looking for Sarah Norden. Norden reels that one in, 10 yards out of the end zone now. Back to Snyder. Snyder reaching with one hand, and that was just a little bit too high of a throw, I think, given the reset option there, Emmy.
It seems like a little bit of nerves, too, on both sides. I mean, they're on the live stream. We're so excited. But it's a fairly big stadium here. There are a lot of observers, or, not observers, but people watching the game.
So Galindo now on the far side. Surveying for an option, shoots it up line into a tight space, but that one's not going to be able to stay in bounds, and Fusion will get yet another chance here. And, Emmy, like you said, it's the first game as well of Worlds for both of these teams. They haven't played a game yet. Sometimes it just takes a few minutes, a few points to work out those jitters. Lamb finds Snyder on the far sideline. Snyder shoots deep, looking for Hunt. And that one's sailing out of the reach of Casey Hunt there, and a great, I actually like that idea in terms of this one. That was a good idea, just a little bit overthrown, maybe a little bit of the wind coming into play, but Casey Hunt wide open on that strike.
She was. She had a great cut to the end zone, and I liked the throw, but maybe the timing was a bit off.
Galindo now still taking control of this Bamboo offense. Finds an option in the middle. Martinez hangs on through the contact. Upfield now. Bamboo looking for an option, shoots, looking for Galindo. And a huge D there from Sarah Norden as she elevates to get to that disc.
And Norden definitely had a height advantage on that matchup, but she also had great positioning as well.
Yeah, Sarah Norden only been playing Ultimate for a couple years now. She's relatively new to the sport, but it doesn't show on the field. Her instincts are phenomenal, unparalleled, and her height, she uses it very much to her advantage as well. So look out for her in the air throughout this game. And right away here on the first point of the game, Emmy, we already have a timeout called, and I think possibly a good idea in this situation just to slow it down, take a deep breath and say, hey, I know it's the first point of Worlds, but we've got to get to ourselves to take a deep breath and focus in on what we're trying to accomplish.
And just watch Sarah Norden go straight for the disc. She's not as concerned about where the offense is. If she was a receiver, she definitely would have caught that for that score. I was really hoping, it seemed at the beginning of the point that Bamboo had a little bit of confusion, and then they were working it really well down the full field, but their handler had a little bit of handler miscommunication, I think. And so now neither team has really been able to find their rhythm.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think both teams just showing a little bit of that first game jitter still. And both teams maybe just rushing a few of the options. Needing to take another second to survey the field and find a different option before forcing the first one that they see.
But I think the deep looks from both have been great, and something that they definitely should do. As we've seen, there are some jitters from those short passes, so forcing your opponent, even if your huck isn't completed, forcing the opponent to make a lot of short passes, you could find yourself in good field position.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this will be interesting to see how those teams come out of this timeout now, as Karen Hatch will get the disc back into play for Fusion, setting up in a vertical stack here. Maybe looking to run a set play right off the bat. Galindo will be on the mark here for Bamboo. We've seen her a lot already in this first point.
She has been working really hard for this Bamboo squad.
Disc is in play with Hatch. Hatch looking for an option. Finds her sister, Laura Hatch now. Laura Hatch shoots to the middle. Lamb. Hatch upline to Lamb. Good flow here from Fusion. Shoots to Sarah Norden, but Sarah Norden can't come down with that one, and Casey Hunt reels in the garbage collection right behind. Snyder now. Snyder shoots a beautiful round pass to Karen Hatch, and that will be the first goal of this game. And Emmy, we finally have a point on the board.
It took several minutes and one timeout and multiple turnovers to get there, but Fusion starts the game with a break and now really puts that onus on Bamboo to catch up to it.
Absolutely, and credit to Fusion for coming out of the timeout, calling a timeout, coming out of it and executing. They were able to get all the way up to the end zone. They had a miscue on that throw to Sarah Norden, but Hunt reeling in the second attempt, and that's really what you want to see, your teammates helping you out and always having your back.
Exactly. That was so crucial. We call it having your head on a swivel, watching where that disc is. It sails overhead, but her teammate in Casey Hunt says, well, I'm here. Don't worry about it. And then how about that nice backhand around? Such a great cut, using more of the field, too, to get that score.
So one thing about Fusion as well is that they have played together for so long through the junior level, through senior and adults now. They have not very many teams in Winnipeg, so this is the place that they play. So therefore, the chemistry that they're able to build is really quite something else, and I think we're starting to see that at the end of that point there. So Bamboo with another chance on offense. Already seeing Galindo back out on the line there, Emmy, so I think we're going to be seeing quite a lot of her in this game.
No rest for Galindo.
Disc in play. Bamboo in the middle of the field, looking for Galindo, and that one's picked off by Kayla Mooney. Disc back in for Fusion, another opportunity to break. Mooney shoots around. It's bobbled, but the layout grab is just out of reach. A great second attempt there by Fusion.
You have to keep going for the disc when it's up in the air like that, but just going a little bit too far, but real credit to Shelly Lamb for trying to go for it.
Absolutely. Disc back in. McAllister now. McAllister just waiting for an option. Finds it up line. Bamboo on the near sideline now. Running out of options, so she shoots it deep. Galindo's in the area. But Galindo comes down with it after Shelly Lamb attempts the D. Again, you never give up on a disc, and that is exactly why. Far side now for Bamboo. Bulis goes up line. McAllister back. McAllister in the middle. Finds Mextroth. Veteran player and Sarah Mextroth now with the disc. Finds an upline option. Bulis. Bulis around back to Mextroth. Mextroth controlling this offense now here for Bamboo. Bulis in the middle. McAllister. Juanita McAllister looks for an option. Finds the reset with Bulis. 5 yards out of the end zone now as Rico has it. Shoots. It's too far over the head there of her receiver, Rincon. And Rincon just outstretching her arms for that, but that disc was always sailing over her head.
And really great job from Bamboo working it all the way down, having so much patience. But the wind has picked up a little bit just since this point started, and it almost seemed like maybe that throw was a casualty of the wind.
Yeah, absolutely. So disc back in play now with Fusion. Deep in their end zone. Sam Burridge has it. Burridge shoots a little inside throw. Fusion showing a little bit of patience, faking the huck there as Burridge now finds it again and shoots around to Lamb. Shelly Lamb on the near side. Struggling to find an option, finds one back into the middle. And there's a call, a stall down call on the near sideline.
And we actually had a really good view of Aura Sandoval's face as she was stall counting, and it started to get higher, but I guess it was let go, saying she did. No, it was. The stall is upheld.
So Builes now. Bamboo with another opportunity here. Shoots to Galindo. That one will be reeled in, and Bamboo is on the board, bringing this game to 1-1. Emmy, what do you think of that point?
I really give credit to Bamboo for, well, first, for Sandoval on her great mark to force that stall, and then Bamboo needs to convert when it's necessary. You're on this near sideline. It's tough to get that throw properly, but there's just enough angle that goes around the defender, and Galindo is able to run onto it so well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good patience there from Bamboo, and credit to them for, although they had the early turnover, working their defense and running their legs, and credit to the upfield defense to really cause that stall down. Lamb had no options upfield there.
Exactly. So with this being tied, we saw coming out of the timeout earlier that Fusion immediately ran a huck play that worked well, ended up working out well for them. So I'm really curious to see if they'll come out with another huck play here.
So they've definitely got some height on this line here as well with the legs of Krista Aitken. She's another deep striker for them. So be interesting to see if you've got that one pegged, Emmy.
I'm sure watching at home, everyone tries to do their own play calling too.
Always. This is in with Seaman. Finds her twin sister at field. Shooting, looking for Alexa Kovacs. Alexa Kovacs goes over her head there as Bamboo gets a chance on offense. Centered now for Bamboo. Rico on the far or near sideline. Shoots over the top, but Kovacs reels that in. Carmen Lee looking for an option. There's a call, a pick call up in the middle of the stack as Carmen Lee has the disc in the middle of the field here for Fusion. Lee will bring this back in. Shoots around right away for Seaman. A big bid, but that one's just too far out of her hands.
Alejandra Gomez had a nice no around mark that forced Lee to step out really far. It was a turnover.
Bamboo now. Still haven't been able to work it too far out of their end zone on this point as they're on the near side again. And that's a D by Jolie Valencia there, but Bamboo making the foul call. Hard to see what the contact was from our angle, Emmy.
Yes, it looked like Camila Yepes was saying that it had stopped rotation by the time it got to her, but I think that then I'm also seeing
may have been a stall down
a stall.
Call
That's what it seems like, yeah.
On the first throw, so the other foul call will not matter. Carmen Lee has the disc a yard out of the end zone. Looking for Jolie Valencina, and what an amazing cut there by the speedy little cutter.
Valencina had such a great jab step to get open, and that's tough. You're one-on-one in the end zone. There's not that much space that the defender needs to cover, but you can just really see her quick feet. You just need to shake them just enough, Wide open for the score.
Absolutely. She's another player as well who played with the U24 women's team in Australia, so bringing in a little bit of that experience, knows she can work those tight spaces, and again, I don't think that's going to be the last we see of that in this game. So Bamboo now another chance to hold. We're still at the 1 break, the very first point of the game for Fusion. Bamboo will bring down their offensive line. We're seeing the legs of Sarah Mextroth back out on the field. I think, Emmy, that we're going to start to see her quite a bit on this O-line. She's definitely a calming presence for this team.
Sarah Mextroth is a pickup for Bamboo on this team. She actually lives in St. Paul, Minnesota, and plays with Dragon Thrust and was on the team that when Dragon Thrust won the club championships a few years ago. And she said that she actually has really played mixed most all of her career. So this is a nice change for her to check out the women's game. But she's a huge factor, has always been a huge factor on that Dragon Thrust team.
McAllister shoots around, finds Piñeros. To the middle now for Bamboo. Elena Rico looking for an option, finds McAllister on the near side. McAllister running out of options, shoots far side. That's going to be reeled in with the huge grab that's just outside of the end zone for Elena Rico. Finds Piñeros. 1 yard out of the end zone for Bamboo. Doesn't have an option, shoots a laser into the end zone, and Mextroth reels that one in, takes this game to 2-2, and Emmy, she was really running out of options in that situation.
She was. Piñeros really didn't see how much she had left. You could see how far back she was standing, too, because her mark was so close. But we were talking about Sarah Mextroth. Mextroth has the experience to know where she needs to be, and she was just standing there. She didn't have to run that much, but it was enough to get Bamboo that score they so needed.
Absolutely. Another head on the swivel moment, and we're just seeing the replay of that unreal layout grab there for Bamboo, just reeling that in, and that is such a tough thing to do, Emmy, when the disc is flying away from you to make that catch. So credit to Bamboo there to make that amazing athletic play.
They did, and I like that they're not afraid to put up the hucks so that they have this kind of field position, and you really need that combination of the smaller quick pass game and the long throws combined together.
Absolutely. So just the 1 break so far in the game. Fusion breaking on that very first long point of the game if you're just joining us. So Bamboo with the pull. Bamboo still looking for their first break. Lee finds Seaman. Into the middle for Valencerina. Valencerina now near side. Finds Kovacs. Smooth play here for Fusion as they're just a yard out of the end zone. Fakes the up line. Hits the reset back to Seaman. Looking for her sister there, but can't make the grab and the connection there. And Bamboo with an opportunity now.
I liked the around seal from Alejandra Gomez. She's just really great on the mark.
Yepes shoots upfield. Far side now for Bamboo. And that's out of the reach, but another heads up play here. And that one's reeled in. Shooting to the end zone now, and that's going to be caught. A huge layout grab for Bamboo.
Catalina Borrero, what a jump and spectacular grab. That she was so horizontal when she caught that.
Watch the replay here. Beautiful throw out into space from the Bamboo player.
Borrero just launches into the air. What a spectacular catch.
Incredible grab. That's the first break for Bamboo, and we are going to take a short break. We will be right back.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
Valencerina. Yeah, it's just so hard.
Welcome back to the World Ultimate Club Championships here in Cincinnati. Just coming off a huge layout catch from Columbia Bamboo, making it their first break of the game. We're 3-2 here in this game over Fusion from Winnipeg. Winnipeg right away shooting deep, looking for Krista Aitken. And that's an easy score for Fusion with the offensive hold right off the bat here to make it 3-3.
And Aitken is there right away. It was most likely it was a set play that put Aitken striking or really cutting towards the end zone. But that's what Fusion needed here, is a quick play right off the bat.
Absolutely. And you see Aitken just casually reading the discs, making sure she's all in the end zone, and another score here for Fusion. 3-3 in this game, Emmy, and I've got to say, I'm excited to see what more is going to come. This is a close game. We're seeing lots of good athletic plays from both teams, so even matchup so far, in my opinion.
Very much so. Both teams know how to get their throwers into power position, where you see here that Valencerina is able to get there and put up such a nice backhand. We've seen that on the Bamboo side also.
Absolutely. Now we've seen Valencerina do it on both sides of the disc too, able to cut, get herself open in a tight space in the end zone, and then also able to boost that backhand deep. So incredible job there, showing their depth already in this game. Snyder to pull for Fusion. Pull goes down. McAllister reels that one in, finds Builis upfield. Sarah Builis now looking for an option. Gets one upfield with Sandoval, who finds McAllister. McAllister shoots. That's a low one straight into the arms of her offender, and it is 4-3 here for Bamboo as Lady Rincon reels that one in.
So Bamboo doesn't waste any time either, getting that quick score right into the end zone. And it is difficult. The initiation, first pass with the initiation is definitely the most difficult on offense. But we've seen both teams, once they're able to get that, they're really on a roll, and it's very hard for defenders. And Rincon is just, she's there through the coverage, so athletic with that grab.
Yeah, Laura Hatch trying to make the defensive bid there, and Rincon just staying calm, and it's sometimes very hard with that much defensive pressure on your back to reel those throws in. So full credit there, and 2 textbook offensive points for both teams back to back there.
So now this is really going to be a test for both defenses. This is when the D-line starts to get a little antsy, and in the air they say, okay, it's time for a break. I really, really want a break. The offenses are moving too smoothly.
Bamboo with the pull. Soak Seaman will pick it up and get this into play. Finds Lee to center it. And Bamboo coming down with a different defensive look now. And this is that ever wanting that break that you were just talking about, Emmy. They've come down in a zone set. So Fusion having to readjust, maybe stop that initial huck play they may have wanted to go for.
I think you're exactly right in what they're trying to prevent. They want those over the tops. Here, they're able to convert it, though.
Lee finding Kovacs over the wall there, as Seaman now has it on the far side. Looking for Valencerina, but a foul called as she went for that around backhand. So Letitia Seaman puts it into play, finds Valencerina. Valencerina again shooting to the end zone, finds Alexa Kovacs, and that is the huck that I think Bamboo is trying to stop, as the O-line for Fusion just textbook again.
And the way the Bamboo zone is they want a lot of those lateral swing passes, back and forth, and they're trying to bait those over-the-top throws. If it hangs just a little bit longer, then perhaps the Bamboo defender would be able to get a hand on it. But after that, it's off to the races for Fusion.
Great vision there from Valencerina to see Kovacs on the far side hit that backhand break side throw. Great vision there as well. Good choices. And now got another chance to see what the D-line can do.
So very exciting from both sides. Getting a little more instruction there from Coach Mark Lloyd.
This is a big D-line on the field here for Fusion as well. Got a lot of quick players on the line, the likes of Karen Hatch and Amy Lamb, as well as Sarah Norden, so they're putting their height out on this field. Definitely want to try and get a break and get ahead in this game. We're back on serve, though. We're at 1 break apiece, so definitely going to be able to see who is going to come out on top in the next few points of this.
And it does look like both teams have settled in a little bit more to their own flow versus a lot of the jitters we saw in that first point of the game.
McAllister centers the disc to Builes, finds Mexstroth on the far side. Mexstroth holsters that one as she finds Builes upfield, and Fusion now also coming down in that zone, a little bit more poachy than Bamboo's. I think both teams starting to adjust to the plays that are happening on this field.
Kind of a junk sag zone, really trying to get into the throwing lanes.
McAllister finds an option in the middle. Builes now. Builes through the cup there, finds Pineros upfield to Mexstroth now. Mexstroth shoots deep. Sarah Norden's going to get to that one. And that's Sarah Norden again, just going for the disc, not worrying about where the offender is. Hatch swings it around to Lamb. Lamb finds Armstrong. Armstrong looks for the huck, throws the flick, and that is out of the reach of Casey Hunt. A great idea there, but just maybe not enough love and not enough float on that throw.
That was a line drive of a throw, and it just it's not very forgiving to let your teammate run onto it.
Maybe just a little bit of luck straight back there for Fusion, as well as McAllister shoots that one a little bit too far over the outstretched arms of her receiver. Armstrong will get a chance to pick it back up here for Fusion. Armstrong finds a reset in Karen Hatch. Hatch upfield to Norden. Norden shoots around to Karen Hatch. Amy Lamb now. Lamb looks for Karen Hatch. She toes the line, but that's going to be called out of bounds. A great athletic attempt there from Hatch, but very, very difficult thing to do, to keep your feet in bounds while catching the disc. McAllister now.
I thought Mexstroth might be able to get there and catch it. Not quite.
So Bamboo, unfortunately, turning it back over, and Fusion gets another opportunity here. Laura Hatch now finds an option in the middle. It's Marielle Manlulu with the disc. It's a pick called at field, an affected play, so the disc will return to the hands of Laura Hatch on the far sideline here for Fusion. Hatch finds Manlulu. Shoots to the inside. Amy Lamb reels that in. She's just outside of the end zone. Surveying for an option, looks around to Armstrong, and Armstrong's going to reel that one in. Great composure there for the score from Fusion, bringing this game to 5-4 for Canada.
And so much composure from this Bamboo squad, and really heads up play. Amy Lamb was there to catch that, and then that continuation, it floats a lot, but really great high point snag there from Armstrong.
And this is the second or third time now that we've seen Fusion be able to come down with these heads-up plays. We've seen it on the other side for Bamboo as well, so a lot of helping your teammates out and very good heads-up and disc awareness, knowing where that disc is at all times to make those plays.
That will serve both teams well. It seems like Bamboo on offense had a little bit of offensive miscommunication as to when the cutters were cutting. But it's first game of the tournament. They have some pickup players. Everyone kind of works out the kinks a little bit.
Absolutely, and that's another break here for Fusion as well, as Fusion now leads this game 5-4. So Bamboo looking to respond right away as their ever so familiar offensive line now back out on the field again. You see the likes of Galindo, McAllister back on this field. They've been very dominant forces for this Bamboo offense. That disc is going to just sail out of bounds as McAllister will bring this to the middle to tap it in for Bamboo. McAllister finds Rico. Rico shooting deep. She's tracking it, and she just narrowly manages not to come down with that. That's Catherine Martinez tracking that disc and a little bit too high as you're trying to reel that in with one hand. That's a very tough grab to make, Emmy.
Martinez was doing a great job reading the disc as it was trailing off to the right. But it's one of those, you stick out your hand hoping for that one-handed grab. Sometimes you look down pleasantly surprised because the disc is there. Unfortunately, that was not the case.
Snyder now for Fusion. Snyder shoots a break backhand to Kayla Mooney. Mooney fakes the huck, finds Snyder back in the middle. Rassi now finds Snyder again. Snyder controlling the Fusion offense now. She shoots to the middle. That's going to be too far for her receiver. And Bamboo, another chance here, getting that disc back into their hands. McAllister finds Galindo. Far side now. Into the middle for Incon. Galindo again. Travel called here, so the disc will return back to the hands of Eliana Rico. Rico now. Rico not finding an option as Anya Snyder gets her foot up for the foot block, and Snyder just reading that play so well. She was always ready for that one, Emmy.
She was absolutely ready for that one. Incredible foot block and body control as well. Gives Fusion a chance for another break. Well, I spoke too soon.
And phenomenal job there. Credit to the Bamboo player for getting that disc back. She wanted that foot block back, Emmy.
They tell you to go earn that disc. And both teams really showing that.
Disc shot upfield, and that one will be reeled in for Bamboo. Sandoval with the score. And Bamboo on serve here, holding their offensive point, 5-5 in this game.
It's so exciting. I love seeing teams not give up. We were talking about the offenses were flowing so well. Now it's time for the defense to really make some plays. And we've seen those plays on both sides of the disc. A foot block, then returned with a run through D that Bamboo then is able to use to convert right up the line for their score.
Absolutely. I think that matchup between Eliana Rico and Anya Snyder is going to be a good one to watch out for today as well. Getting the foot block from Snyder there, and then Rico with the run through D. Very well matched partnership there.
So fun to watch. Both teams really keeping it interesting in this first half of play.
So we're 5-5 here between Fusion out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Bamboo from Bogota, Colombia. What a great matchup we have so far. Both teams with the athleticism and the speed that we can only ever hope to see in every single game, Emmy.
And this same pool was part of our live stream earlier where Brilliance upset Yaka. So it is pretty much anybody's game here so far. Bamboo also played Brute Squad at the beginning of the day. They did lose that game, but they put 9 points on Brute Squad. The score was 15-9.
That's an incredible score against Brute Squad. Brute Squad, a multiple-time USA national champion. They have players who've played on the World Games team and likes of Leanne Hoffman out there. So incredible job by Bamboo to match up with that team. Bamboo not showing any tiredness as well in this game, as this is Fusion's first game of the day and their second. Still tied up here. Sarah Meckstroth almost reaches into that D, but Valencerina hangs on and she shoots for the end zone. Kovacs is going to reel that in, and Jolie Valencerina, that is her third perfect huck of this game for the score.
What a shot from Valencerina up the sideline, which a lot of times on the same side of the field is usually not preferred, but the timing of the cut and then the angle of the throw, and there is still enough space for her receiver and Kovacs to run onto it.
We are going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more action here from WCC.
If you want to be a high performer, eat like one. Start with a balanced diet and drink plenty of water. Good nutrition is one of the best ways to boost your mental and your physical health.
Welcome back to the World Ultimate Club Championships here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Fusion from Canada leading Bamboo from Bogota 6-5. Mostly trading points here. Fusion have 2 breaks over Bogota's 1, but a very even game here so far, Emmy.
Yeah, so the team out of Bogota is really doing a great job. We've seen their physicality. They're not afraid to lay out. They're not afraid to huck it. But Fusion answering so well, too.
Near side now, Juanita McAllister. She's played many points so far in this game for Bamboo. She shoots around to the middle. Builes gets a big yard gainer up to the other side with now Galindo with the disc in her hands. McAllister. And it looks like there's some contact upfield. Good job by the Bamboo player to hang on to that one anyways, but a foul called on the far side as Builes was gunning up the line there, and just 2 players running into each other, I think.
And definitely you want to catch it, no matter what the outcome is. Just never know.
So the disc will stay in the hands of Juanita McAllister, coming in on stall 1. Rico now. Eliana Rico has an open option with Rincon. Rincon there. Big fakes on the far sideline. Finds McAllister in the middle. McAllister shoots over to Pineros. Pineros into the middle now. Rico a dominating cutter here for Bamboo as well, as she is really taking control whenever she's been on the field.
And Bamboo working those unders. We've seen them with their hucks, so now they've kind of transitioned to work up the field underneath, and now they're just about into their red zone.
Rico now finds Sarah Builes, far side. Shoots into the middle for Galindo. Rico, right in the middle, 10 yards out of the end zone, looking for an option. Shoots for the end zone. too far out of the hands of Rincon there. A great idea, a great backhand breakside shot, but the wind carrying that one over her head.
She had it. She read it so well, but that would have been a spectacularly athletic play, and she's a great, Rincon is a great athlete. However, just little too high.
Hunt now for Fusion on the far side. Finds Karen Hatch back. Hatch shoots around. And a big layout block there, but it's reeled in again by Karen Hatch, and maybe a little bit too much excitement as she throws it away right after. That is so hard in those situations to stay patient, but an incredible first layout block there from McAllister for Bamboo as well. Rico now fakes the pump. Looks for McAllister going up line. Rico now right outside of the end zone. Bamboo looking to punch it in. Finds the tight corner as McAllister reels that one in to make this 6-6. And Emmy, Bamboo just really working in those tight spaces.
They had to really thread the needle as they were working it upfield, but they did it using a succession of strike cuts and using two-handed grabs as well, because there is not a lot of float. You cannot put pretty much any float if you are putting up those passes.
Seeing the layout D again as Karen Hatch, great heads up to reel that in. Tried to shoot to Lamb right away and just a little bit out of reach. I still think maybe just a little bit of excitement of I managed to get that disc back for my team.
And it looks like Mark Lloyd's team has to leave probably to go warm up for their game. So he was standing outside the end zone, kind of ready to go, saw everything, said, okay, no, let's call a timeout. I'm going to give a few more words before I leave, parting with you. When you're a coach and a player, it's so hard. You're so torn when you want to be in two places at once.
It's a very, very hard thing to do. So credit to him, able to take a moment to talk some final words of wisdom to his team. And I think also in general, a very good call here for Fusion if they want to try and bring this to half in the next couple points and save some energy too, try and get rid of some of these longer points that we're seeing. A good timeout call. They want to close this half out.
And we do see from the flags that the wind is picking up. There are thunderstorms, rain and possible thunderstorms in the forecast, but not until much later this afternoon and then early evening. So fingers crossed, everybody, that it will indeed come after all of our rounds are completed today. But you can see that the wind has had a little bit of a factor. Disc going a little bit higher, a little far, sailing a little too far wide.
Yeah, absolutely. The wind coming almost directly at us right now as well, so not really affecting a upwind or downwind side of the field right now, but both teams definitely need to keep those throws low and really watch the disc into their hands, as it's definitely going to bobble a bit in this wind. Lee now with the disc in the middle. She's going to shoot, looking for Catherine Poran. And Poran can't get there as that disc sails out of bounds, and that's another case of the winds coming towards us, just pushing it out of the field this way.
It had a lot of speed on it, too. Just not too much float. Gives Bamboo the opportunity for a break.
Rico now. Rico shoots inside. The attempted layout is not completed as Fusion gets another opportunity. A great effort there from the Bamboo player, Martinez. Lee shoots around to Poran. Poran fakes the huck, calls her teammate back under as now she looks for another option and gets it in Carmen Lee, as Carmen Lee does a great job to get open there. Lee now. Lee boosts the backhand huck, and that one is sailing, hanging, and Alexa Kovacs bids for it but can't quite get there. That one hung for a lot longer, I think also in part due to the wind on that side of the field.
I think it did. I don't think that it was the destination, was necessarily the intended destination of the disc as well.
So Bamboo with another opportunity here. A call upfield, though, as play has just briefly stopped here. Quick discussion happening on the far side. A foul call upfield. Bamboo brings the disc back into play now. Shoots into space, up line. The layout will not be enough. That one also sailing out of bounds on the far side. Fusion now about 20 yards out of the end zone. Chance to make this game 7-6. Lee. Lee finds Poran back in the middle. Catherine Poran. Catherine Poran just waiting, stopping play as a foul, I believe, also called with just some contact. Two players maybe trying to cut to the same space there. Defender trying to get there first. We do sometimes get some contact on the field in those situations. Poran now. Disc back into play. Shoots for Valencerina. Hangs that one into space. Valencerina now just on the edge of the end zone. Shows some patience and a big layout grab from Carmen Lee as that disc was going down to the ground, and Lee managing to get a finger or two underneath that to make that incredible grab.
That disc was moving quickly towards the ground in a hurry, and credit Carmen Lee for recognizing that. I mean, at first it looked like it could just be a turf, but Carmen Lee with the quick reflexes.
Yeah, incredible grab from Carmen Lee there. I think Valencerina, high stall count probably in that situation, knowing she had to get that disc out of her hands quickly. So shooting it too low in the end, but watching it again now, absolutely phenomenal reflex there from Carmen Lee to get her hand underneath that. Fusion just taking another moment here to have a quick chat and see Coach Mark Lloyd still talking to them. Not quite ready to go with his team yet, and that is a tough thing, especially in such a close game right now. How do you leave?
I don't envy his position at all. I think, you want to leave it with a bit of a cushion and all of that, but Bamboo is not ready to give any kind of cushion anytime soon. In fact, they are so strong in their own right, probably requiring then additional adjustments and thoughts from the coaching staff as well.
Absolutely. So Fusion looking to have a big D-line out here, trying to bring this to half and close it out. They will get a chance to start on offense after half, so always a great opportunity here to get that 2-point buffer going into the second half as well. And on the other hand, Bamboo, knowing they would have to start on defense, great opportunity to get ahead before we get to halftime.
Exactly. Bamboo was broken to start the game in that very long point that we had in point one. So for them, this score here is pretty crucial to tie it up. So it's, I think Tom called it Galaxy Point, tied at 7s going into halftime.
So that disc sails out of bounds as Juanita McAllister seems to be the central handler here for Bamboo as well. We've seen her pick up the disc time and time again. She'll bring it into the brick mark. Disc in play. A foul called on the mark. Anya Snyder on that mark, trying to get another foot block maybe. Looking for that opportunity as McAllister shoots into the middle. Rico. Mextroth shoots that one deep, and that's just too far away from her receiver. A good idea, but just not enough hang on that throw.
The angle of the disc combined with a little bit of the wind, it just pushes that into the ground. If it was a little bit flatter, perhaps it would have floated, but if it was flatter, I don't know that it would have gotten to that part of the end zone either.
Yeah, absolutely. Orjuela just trying to run onto it, but needed to hang up into space for her to even make an athletic play on it. Snyder running out of time there, shot that one deep and also managed to draw the foul. Conversation happening now between the two players. Looks like it's not going to be contested, so disc coming back in Stall 0, Fusion with another opportunity to work this disc up the field now. Anya Snyder looking for an option, goes up line. Finds Manlulu. Marielle Manlulu. Up line again, looking for Snyder, and Snyder will run onto that one and then shoot the disc, looking for Casey Hunt. That one's gonna hang up, and Sarah Mextroth, there is no competing with her in the air there.
Perfect read, but you knew a blue defensive presence was very strong.
And Anya Snyder wanting to get that throwback. She just went in for the D, and looks like she just tweaked something on that attempt, trying to get that disc back. So Fusion will take an injury sub as Karen Hatch comes onto the field now. Disc still in the hands of Juanita McAllister. Just some discussion, I think, about where people were, and Bamboo also going to take a sub of their own as well, using the opportunity. Been a lot of long points in this game, so not a bad thing to get on some fresher legs sometimes in these situations as well.
Definitely wise, especially knowing that they can tie this at 7 apiece. We're talking about Galindo out here. She actually came over from mixed. She's on a different mixed team that didn't make it to WCC.
As we talk about Galindo, that's her striking deep, but Kayla Mooney uses her speed and gets to that disc well before her, as Karen Hatch now has it. And Karen Hatch is going to shoot deep, looking for Sarah Norden, and Sarah Norden extends her legs to get to that disc. 1 yard out of the end zone now, finds Hatch. Hatch will find Mooney, and that will take us to halftime. And Emmy, what do you think about that first half?
It was really exciting, and you had breaks on both sides of the disc, but it was Fusion who could get the 3 breaks in order to be up by 2 for this first half. Bamboo showing a lot of poise with their unders as well as their deeps, but just had some miscues that they weren't able to quite convert, and Fusion taking advantage of that. You saw here the deep shot was too short, and Fusion saying, all right, you gave us the disc back. We're going to score before you get to touch that again.
Absolutely. Fusion just taking advantage of that situation, bringing us to halftime here in women's pool play between Fusion and Bamboo. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some more game analysis in a few minutes.
There is a place where we are us at our best.
A place where everyone is welcome,
regardless of age, shape, skin color, or anything else that tries to box people in.
A place where we defy the odds.
And even defy gravity.
a place that knows grit, knows grace, knows bright lights, and knows empty bleachers.
A place where we remember to laugh,
where we learn to trust,
and eventually even learn to fly.
a place where character, community, and competition
Are all as balanced as a disc in flight.
That place isn't in a stadium or on a field.
That place is in the spirit of our players.
Because we don't just play Ultimate, we live Ultimate.
Welcome back. We're here in halftime of the World Ultimate Club Championships. It's Becky Thompson up here in the booth with Emmy Fitzgerald. And Emmy, we've seen a really exciting first half. We're going to see some highlights now as well here, but Fusion leading 8-6 over Bamboo.
And Fusion showing so much discipline, but then also from the Bamboo side, they have their athleticism, so many really speedy receivers needing to get open into tight spaces. Both teams pretty evenly matched, which is why we only have a 2-point difference so far in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing some of those really nice throws, and we're about to see the huge layout grab from Bamboo as that one was reeled in. Both of these teams putting their bodies on the line, and we've seen some absolutely beautiful hucks come up from both these teams. This one reeled in by Krista Aitken from Fusion. And Emmy, I won't be surprised if we see a lot more of those throws going up in the second half.
I suspect that the throwers will be adjusting a little bit based on what is happening with the wind, but at the same time, the combination that both teams have had of stretching it deep with hucks, but then also working it underneath, that makes it that much trickier for the defense. And when either team has done that, and they've both kind of employed similar strategies when it's come to that, they've been successful.
Absolutely. So we're going to take another quick break here. We'll be back very soon with some more game analysis of this first half.
Do it, Booker. I mean, that's how we, here, I have these.
We're back here, still at halftime at the World Ultimate Club Championships. We've got a women's pool play matchup between Fusion out of Canada and Bamboo out of Colombia. Very exciting first half, 8-6. Fusion leading by 3 breaks to Bamboo's 1 break. So a good first half, and we see Bogota just coming in now into their little huddle here. And Emmy, what do you think of Bamboo? What have we seen from them so far?
We've really seen a lot of experience combined with athleticism. You can tell that this Bamboo team has very, very good fundamentals. Anytime the disc goes up in the air, they're very hungry for it. They will go and get on the second attempt, whether they're the intended receiver or not. Maybe they could run onto the disc to catch a score, but having a layout is so much more fun. They love that. I don't want to say spectacle because that has a negative connotation, but the swagger to really pump up your team has really driven them so far, and have just had a few miscues for them to be trailing Fusion so far by 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes those big plays really do help get your team right in the right mindset, right in the zone to go out and get those plays that when you really do need to make that bid, you're ready to do it. Fusion, on the other hand, we've seen some similar big plays from them, a lot of calm but big throws as well. What have you thought of Fusion?
I think Fusion has really great throws into tight spaces. You've seen them also along the line, being able to put enough curve on their passes for strike cuts, for that kind of trail away. They're also very good at putting their throwers into power position, figuring out what cut that their handler needs to make so that they're there. And when they get into power position, almost every time you have seen somebody going deep. Sometimes they're pump fake to come back under, but we've had a lot of deep connections too.
Yeah, the option is always there for Fusion. I'm sure we'll see some more big hucks from Sarah Mextroth from Bamboo as well. She was just starting to open those up at the end of that second half, so trying to hold on to some of those catches as well. Bamboo just needing, I think, a little bit of extra patience and maybe a little bit of luck with the wind as well to reel in a few of those catches. But definitely going to be an interesting second half here.
And we have seen the wind play a bit of a factor. It's not too strong, probably a little bit over 10 miles an hour, but still making a difference with the throws.
We will be back with second half action right after this.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
No kid should have an overuse injury. Limit young ones to one sport per season, save sport specialization for later, and cross-train with your kids. Parents and kids will both benefit.
Welcome back to the World Ultimate Club Championships here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We've got an awesome pool play matchup here in the women's division between Fusion out of Canada and Bamboo out of Colombia. Fusion leads this one 8-6. Bamboo will get us started on defense to kick off this second half.
And Fusion got the break in the first point of the game, and now they are on offense to start the second half of the game.
Right away, Fusion shooting deep, and that one's out of the hands of Kaya Sok-Seaman there. Seen Fusion put up those big hucks throughout the game already, and Bamboo really needs to take advantage of this opportunity here.
So Bamboo can essentially get back the break, but unfortunately need to complete passes to do so.
Yeah, just a little bit of a miscue there. The Bamboo player thought her player was going, not quite open. Valencerina shoots into the end zone for Kovacs, and that is the fourth assist for Jolie Valencerina here in this game for Fusion, making this game 9-6, an offensive hold right away, right off the bat here for Fusion.
So despite Fusion turning it over, they were able to have pretty tight defense to get the turn, and using that break side for that backhand continuation. Just such good timing between their handlers and their cutters to keep that disc moving to gain more yards on the field. In that case, it was a goal.
Yeah, and I think that's where definitely a lot of their chemistry that they've managed to build in this Winnipeg program comes into play. They know when to cut for each other. They know their throwers and their receivers very well. So definitely showing that here as they get a chance now to go out in another break. You know, we do often sometimes see close first halves and one team managed to run away in the second half. So Fusion will be trying to do that here, and Bamboo, on the other hand, will definitely be trying not to let that one happen.
Earlier, I wondered if Fusion was going to throw the big huck. I have a hunch that Bamboo will try some kind of huck-related initiation play.
McAllister now with the disc. Centers. Cerebuiles finds Galindo, or Galindo shoots around. A hand block from Marielle Manlulu there. Galindo trying to get that around backhand to Rico. Now the disc will be brought into play for Fusion. Around to Norden. Norden now on the far side. Looks back, finds Karen Hatch in the middle. Hatch shoots to Kayla Mooney, and Mooney maybe just thinking a little bit about the throw before making that catch as the disc slips out of her hands.
So another opportunity for Bamboo.
And Pinheiro's shooting that one above the head of Eliana Rico. Rico, a good receiver to have going deep, but these throws for Bamboo just coming a little bit too far by inches each time. And right away, Karen Hatch shoots to Sarah Norden. That's not the first time we've seen that. Norden finds Hatch again. Hatch looks for an option, finds Hillary Prescott wide open up line, and that is 10-6 now for Fusion over Bamboo, and Fusion just looking like they're going to run away with this second half, Emmy.
They've certainly started off very strong in the second half. They already had a 2-point lead, so adding to it puts them up by 4, and they're just not afraid to take the big shots when they need to, but then have those patient decisions very close to the end zone.
Yeah, and you see maybe some miscommunication there from Bamboo as Hillary Prescott was completely unmarked there for Fusion as well. Just not quite sure who they were picking up on the turn. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll be back with more action in just a second.
Heat illness strikes kids and adults alike during summer workouts. Watch for muscle cramps, fever, nausea, headache, weakness, or feeling faint. Act fast to get cool and get fluids.
Welcome back to the World Ultimate Club Championships. We are live with women's division action here between Bamboo and Fusion. Bamboo trailing by 4 points here to Fusion as they'll look to get themselves back on the board in the second half. Sarah Mextroth shooting deep for Martinez. That one's reeled in, and that's the type of hugs we were talking about seeing from Mextroth right out of the bat. Two throw offense there for Bamboo.
And Bamboo with that quick conversion, Mextroth to Maria Paula Martinez straight into the end zone, and they need that. They're coming out of a bit of a timeout, so it gives them a little bit more time to figure out what they're going to do, and then the throw was connected. They've had other opportunities where the thrower and the receiver were mostly open, but then the execution wasn't quite there, but it was enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we're going to need to see a little bit more of that from Bamboo as well. They're now only down by 3, needing to get a break or 2 definitely to get themselves back into this game. But credit to Fusion, they've come out of the second half with a different type of mentality, it would appear. They are absolutely on a different mental level coming out of halftime as well, and you credit that to a little bit of experience as well as some of that team chemistry that is able to carry a team through those tougher long points. So Bamboo needing a break. They're only down by 3. Nothing is over. Absolutely not. You never know what's going to happen in a game. So Bamboo looking for a break as they pull a big backhand pull. That one's going to sail just in bounds. What a great pull from Bamboo.
Couldn't ask for a better pull. And recovery catch.
And that's Jolie Valencerina again here for Fusion, making a heads-up play. We've seen this so many times for Fusion, helping their teammates out. It's an uncontested foul in the middle, so Valencerina now with the disc. Looks for Aitken, finds her. Aitken shoots up line to Valencerina. Showing some patience. Shoots around in front of Letitia Soak-Seaman. And Valencerina with her 5th assist of this game. What an incredible job here by Fusion to stay calm in this situation.
And Valencerina just has such a great touch, curving, kind of going outside and then coming back in. She knows that's what she has to do to get to her receiver. If she throws it really flat, that's going to fly straight outside the back of the end zone. But you can see how tilted the disc is. That's just the perfect track to go right to Seaman.
Yeah, and Valencerina as well there, just showing a little bit of calm patience with the disc as well. She surveys her options, looks off 2 or 3 options, knowing that, trusting her teammates that another one will always come. So not panicking with the disc, which I think has been a big advantage for Fusion during this whole game.
And it has helped them convert. I mean, even it looked like they might turn it over. The disc sails past about 4 different women, finally caught to keep the possession alive.
Karen Hatch set to pull here for Fusion. Big pull is just going to sit up now as Bamboo reels that in, centering the disc. Diaz now. Diaz looking for an option, shoots to the near sideline. Big catch reeled in here. Orjuela Orjuela needing an option, finds one in the middle. Borrero finds Mexstroth. Veteran player Sarah Mexstroth controlling play again. Diaz resets the disc. Karen Rico. Rico goes up to Mexstroth. Mexstroth 5 yards out of the end zone. Shoots that one. Another huge bid by Borrero. Borrero there having a bit of a discussion about whether she was in or out.
And Borrero, certainly one who doesn't mind big bids. Also with the game advisors, they won't make a call. But it's the first point of contact. It's hard from that angle to see if it was her knee or if it was her wrist. Her wrist was out of bounds. Her knee would be inbounds.
Yeah, hard to tell what hit first. We'll get another look at it. Catches the disc. Her first hand is actually in bounds when she made that catch. So her first point of contact was her hand, and it was in bounds. So what a phenomenal catch there from Borrero. That is definitely a score for Bamboo, and that makes this game 11-8. That's the second time we've seen her make an incredibly athletic play, Emmy.
And the call on the field was also ruled a score, and they don't have the advantage of the extremely slow motion as well. So really great spirit from both sides to discuss it. Game advisors can also say what they thought, but they don't actually make a ruling. It has to be agreed by both teams.
Yeah, game advisors able to give their opinion, say, here's what I saw, but it comes down to what the players decide amongst themselves. So definitely great spirit, and what a phenomenal grab, Emmy.
Borrero is athletic and acrobatic for sure.
Fusion on offense now as Bamboo still looking for another break to get themselves back into this game. Big pull now as the disc is picked up. Soak Seaman in the middle. Shoots to Valencerina. She's going to shoot it deep to a wide open Alexa Kovacs. Valencerina absolutely raking in the assist, but a travel call on Jolie Valencerina, so the disc is going to come back. A great throw. Great decision to a wide open receiver. We'll see if she can put it up again.
And as soon as Valencerina gets into power position, that should be the cue for every defender downfield that they gotta go. Look, perhaps maybe there was it's hard to say because there's the steps that you get after you catch it and then to kind of set your pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. She was in motion. Hard to tell if she changed her direction slightly or dragged a foot a little bit. A very close call either way, but disc still back in the hands of Fusion now as Kaya Seaman on the far side goes upline to Carmen Lee, and immediately a foul called. No contest there by the Bamboo player. Knows she got her hand on the arm of Carmen Lee there as she was going upline. So Lee brings the disc in play. She's about 10 yards out of the end zone. Letitia Seaman goes up line, beautifully reeled in there as Carmen Lee just puts that straight into the hands of Letitia Soak Seaman for the score, making this game 12-8 for Canada Fusion over Columbia Bamboo.
And that is the second consecutive score for Letitia Soak Seaman for Fusion. And I mean, they just worked it up really well on that far sideline, kind of the defense was forcing them into the sideline, but sometimes that allows then for a backhand to come around.
Yeah, and just showing that they can do it any way that they really choose to with the big huck from Valencerina. Beautiful huck, gets called back, and they're like, okay, we'll just work it up the field. Patiently work it up the field to a beautiful score from Seaman. So 12-8 here in this game for Fusion over Bamboo. And Emmy, at this point, if you're Bamboo, what do you change up to try and get yourself back into this game?
I think you still keep with the huck games. You have enough throwers and athletes to be able to do it, but you need to score quickly, and then when you're on defense, they've shown they don't mind getting physical and bidding. And when I say getting physical, that doesn't mean initiating body contact, of course, with the other team, but using your own body to be really aggressive. Don't be afraid to lay out, make those defensive plays.
Mextroth now with the disc in the middle of the field. Holstering a bit as she finds an option in the middle, but it's just shot behind the outstretched hands of Orjuela there. The disc has been turned over, so Hatch goes up line, and Mextroth almost getting to that one now. Casey Hunt with the disc on the far side. Back to Hatch. Hatch shoots around to Snyder. Snyder fakes the huck. Looks back around to Karen Hatch. Goes straight up line. Snyder and Hatch going 1 and 2 here. Back again. Hatch. Karen Hatch with a huge layout grab to retain possession. Looking for an option. Finds Anya Snyder on the wraparound. Now Mooney upfield. Mooney finds Snyder. Snyder on the near side. Snyder faking, looking like she wanted to throw at field. Doesn't find an option. Gets Laura Hatch back. Snyder again. 10 yards out. Now she shoots to the end zone, and that one's going to be D'd. Kayla Mooney not able to get in front of Maria Paulo Martinez there. And Snyder, I think, just getting a little bit excited, wanting to shoot that one into the end zone.
Talk about the closing speed for Martinez. Each of those previous probably 6 passes, Bamboo was just a little bit slow on that first step, but Martinez making that adjustment, then coming back on offense, just having trouble getting things started.
Yeah, and we're just seeing what we've seen a couple times in this game now, where Bamboo manages to get that opportunity but can't get it out of their red zone. So Karen Hatch shoots around, looks for Casey Hunt. Casey Hunt with the big layout for the score, but there's a call, a pit called, and she was very open, Emmy.
You credit the receiver when they're really open, but sometimes they're just a little too open, and when the pick calls, everyone collectively says, oh, okay.
All right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And Martinez getting yet another run through D. That's her second of the point, and a high stall count, I think, there for Hatch. Another pick called, this time on Mextroth as Hunt tries to catch up. I think Fusion there on both of those attempts, just rushing it a little bit, trying to get in that score. They know another break could really put the nail in the coffin here, I think.
You have Fusion a little bit too quickly with the passes in the end zone, and then Bamboo just struggling to get that first pass off. They finally do.
Disc on the far side now for Bamboo. Karen Rico finds Diaz. And that disc just falls out of her hands. Maybe a little touch there from Anya Snyder. But that disc, I think, just falling out of the hands there of Diaz as Fusion gets a chance to set up an end zone play here, make this game at 13. Snyder finds Lamb in the middle of the field. Lamb goes around to Snyder. Snyder looking for an option, fakes the up line, goes all the way around to Casey Hunt. And Mextroth is going to call that one into the end zone. Casey Hunt laying out to keep her toes inbounds to the end zone. What an incredible grab there from Fusion.
So much body control from Casey Hunt. Typically, you want to catch the disc and then figure out if you're in or not. She was able to catch the disc and then basically had one big toe down first to be able to get the score.
We're going to take a short break. We will be back with you soon from Cincinnati.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
Welcome back to the World Ultimate Club Championships here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Got an awesome matchup here between Fusion from Winnipeg, and we're just seeing a replay of their last score as Casey Hunt just making that grab to keep her feet in bounds before falling out of the end zone. Fusion leading 13-8 over Bamboo, so they have run away with this second half here, Emmy.
Hunt almost looking like maybe a Michael Jackson type pose, the way that her toes were straight up. Fusion just really on a roll.
That was Eliana Rico trying to lay out, and now Armstrong will shoot that one. That's going to go out of bounds, and I'm not sure that one was ever in, as Eliana Rico is happy to have that one back upfield here for Bamboo.
So Jolie Valencerina is able to get a lot of that curve on the throw. That was one that wasn't quite there for this throwing attempt, which is why the disc is walking back up basically to where it was thrown from.
Yeah, absolutely. Armstrong making a good idea, good decision there, just not the touch on the throw that was needed. As Bamboo goes upfield, finds Barrero. A little bit of contact there as Barrero goes down. Looks like she's okay, getting back up fairly quickly. Barrero trying to shoot into the end zone. Can't quite get there. Sapefri now looking for Manlulu. Can't get there either. And Bamboo with a chance just out of the end zone here as Karen Rico picks up. Rico finds McAllister into the end zone. And that looks like an easy score for Bamboo as they make this game 13-9.
And something that was absolutely crucial for Bamboo to convert there, keep the game within 4 points, and they just kept working and fighting and played tight enough defense that it really forced Fusion to throw into tight spaces, turn over the disc, and then Bamboo is able to capitalize.
Yeah, credit to Bamboo on that one. That's a little bit of that patience that they've needed a little bit earlier in this game. They showed it in the first half, but they've kind of lost it in the second half. So good to see that it's still there. They're going to need to focus on bringing that back through more rounds. It's a long tournament ahead. Lots of games still left to play for them as well.
Exactly. Each team plays 2 games per day. And what's so nice about that is that you can really then put a lot of your effort in without having to kind of pace so much. But it's a much longer tournament with opening ceremonies yesterday and then closing ceremonies a full week later.
So Bamboo pulling the disc downfield now as they'll look to try and get a break back in the second half. They have not broken yet in the second half here. Carmen Lee. Lee finds Sok Seaman. Aitken now. Krista Aitken shoots upfield to Poran. Poran shoots that one around, looking for Kovacs. Kovacs will bid just out of her reach. Did not quite sit up, but a great effort there from Alexa Kovacs to lay out for that one.
Really nice slide from Kovacs when she went to go get that disc, but it was just falling so quickly. Perhaps if it was released maybe half a second later, I think she would have been able to get there.
Yeah, it's a matter of inches in this game, and just there again we're seeing from Bamboo the exact same thing, a matter of inches making up the difference between what's being caught and what isn't. Lee now on the near side of the field. Finds a centering pass to Letitia Seaman as she shoots around, almost picked off, and now Lee will be wide open into the end zone, making this game 14. Fusion within 1 point now of closing this game out.
And Fusion started the second half so strong and really have not looked back since then. And really, they've played a very strong game so far, starting with the break and continuing on to get 2 more in the first half and just really solidifying their stance and playing ability in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Fusion running away with this game now, managing to show that they can stay composed throughout an entire game, with the wind picking up as well, making sure they take care and value the disc. So Fusion leading this game 14-9 over Bamboo, and Bamboo, credit to them, they've done a lot of very, very good things. They hung in there in the first half, but I think just needing to find a way to keep that energy and that momentum going through the entirety of the game.
And consistency is so crucial, and sometimes that's the other side of the coin when you have very, very flashy plays, because usually it's because something wasn't quite perfect to get there.
Disc now in play with Juanita McAllister. Finds Orjuela. Eliana Rico. Rico, just a miscommunication there, and that one's picked off by Hunt. Snyder in control now. Shoots that disc around to Sefefri. Hatch. Hatch looking for an option. Doesn't find one right away, and that one's going to be D'd by Barrero. Barrero getting high, but a call on the mark, it would appear. Karen Hatch is calling for the disc back to her hands.
And it seemed like so there was a stall called on the throw.
The discussion going on. Hard to tell what the stall count was at from up here. It was turned over anyway, so I think the discussion will be whether the disc stays downfield or returns to where the players are having the discussion now. So contested down, so it will be turned over where the disc was thrown away, which is just slightly upfield, not too far away, but down on the sideline. So definitely a different field position for Bamboo here.
They have to work it up off the sideline instead.
Rico finds Eliana Rico. Far side now. Looking for an option. Shoots upfield to Martinez. Wide open Karen Rico. Rico shoots. Barrero's going to track that one. Bobbles it. Still comes down with it, and Barrero just showing to be a goal-scoring machine here for Bamboo.
Barrero, the disc bounced off of Barrero's hand, yet she was able to recover it, still one-handed, to get the score. Every score she has had in this game has been something interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. She has not failed to entertain us today, that's for sure. She'll be a key goal scorer for this team throughout the week as well. Seen her make those plays time and time again. The ability to be that self-aware, watching that replay, knowing where the disc is after not being able to make the initial catch, it's extremely impressive.
It is just so fun to watch. And clean, well-designed, good decisions are fun to watch, but having it bounce off of your hand and then still grab it while you are in full speed running.
Incredible.
Amazing coordination. My hat goes off. My headset goes off to Barrero.
So quick timeout calls here. Fusion looking to close this one out. They lead 14-10 over Bamboo. We've seen teams down 4 points be able to make runs late in games before, so I think Fusion and Bamboo both, on one hand, Fusion saying, hey, let's close this game out, and Bamboo saying, never say never, right? They know that they're capable of getting Fusion to turn over the disc. They just need to capitalize on those mistakes.
The capitalization is what's so crucial, and that's the other half of D-line, is being able to get the D, but then having enough composure to be able to then convert it on offense. That is where Bamboo has struggled more than Fusion has in this game today. Hopefully there are things that they can pick up and carry with them for the rest of the tournament. But when you're sitting with the other team game point every single time, you can't give up anything.
Absolutely not. And maybe that's just a little bit of the sense of urgency that they need in order to make a bit of a comeback. So big pull here from Bamboo. That's a great pull as it's going to sail back into the near side of the end zone. So Seaman picks up to Lee. Lee not having too many options upfield and shoots that into the ground. And this is exactly what Bamboo has been trying to create as Rico into the end zone. Barrero for the score. Bamboo gets himself on the board, their first break of the second half, making this game 14-11.
That was probably Barrero's most boring score so far of this game, but the most important score so far for Bamboo to get this break, take it within 3, but they're not done yet because Fusion gets it back on offense.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the most boring ones are the most impressive ones as well. She had some pressure on her back, stayed composed, made sure her feet were in the end zone, and like you said, Fusion on game point, now double game point. Let's see how much the Bamboo can make this continue.
And it's those types of turns and then conversions that really, really fire up a team, put some wind in their sails as we are seeing the breeze out here on the field. And the time cap is something else, though, coming up on 8 minutes to cap.
Yeah, time is definitely not on the side of Bamboo here, so not only are they going to need to force turnovers, they're going to have to score quickly as that disc lands right in the middle of the field for Lee. Lee fakes the huck, looking for an option. Looks for Seaman, a hand block, but that hand just came from behind her, and often in those situations it's very difficult not to make contact. So a non-contested foul here as Carmen Lee will tap the disc back in for Fusion. Rico on the mark for Bamboo. Lee goes around to Aitken. Aitken trying to reel that one in, can't hang on to it with the one hand there. Bamboo with another really important opportunity here.
Another break opportunity to take it within 2.
Rico finds Barrero. Barrero consistently getting open here for Bamboo right now. She finds another option. Orjuela. Orjuela now. Good patience. Finds an option on the far side. Looking for Barrera. A hand block from Aitken as Aitken wanted that drop back there.
And a little bit of a bobble. That disc is down.
Bamboo shoots right away, throwing the hat off of her head as she makes that grab. And suddenly, Bamboo are back within 2 with 6 minutes left in this game.
Jennifer Ricarte is there for that score, and Bamboo's breaks have started a little bit late in this second half, but they have arrived. It's not over yet, though.
Oh, absolutely not. Plenty of time at this point. Bamboo needs to score a point in the next 6 minutes to be within 1 before hard cap, and that's extremely doable at this point in the game.
It seems like that a little bit of the pressure of the game point to just put the game away is affecting Fusion a little bit. You've seen some uncharacteristic drops or bobbles or throwaways that have put Bamboo in favorable field position. And then Bamboo has been able to convert, whereas so far in the second half, they have not been able to do that. So kudos to Bamboo for turning it on at the right time. This is also a great opportunity for Fusion to dial into their mental toughness. They say center yourself, find within yourself what you know to do. And it comes down to throws and catches.
Yeah, absolutely. Fusion just needing to close this one out, and sometimes that can be the hardest thing to do. I mean, it's hard to think that way when you're up 14. You just have to score 1 more point, but it does take a certain level of composure in order to do that with a team like Bamboo that is never going to stop knocking on your door, and they have proven that right here. So Fusion on offense, putting out a strong lineup here. You can tell they really want to reel in this game and close it out Bamboo, on the other hand, keeping Barrero out on the field the last 4 or 5 points in a row. I think it's really paying off for them too.
She is hungry. She is hungry for the defense. She is also hungry for offense, as is Martinez. And it looked like a bobble on the disc, but still picked up.
It did, and now Kovacs is upfield. Hard to tell what happened there. The players on the field didn't appear to call it, but the disc is shot down, and you know what? Sometimes they say that the disc doesn't lie, Emmy, and the disc is now turned over. But it was hard to tell from here what happened. Players on the sideline were signaling for some sort of call. Bamboo manages to keep possession of that one. Eliana Rico now finds her receiver in the middle with Ricarte. Barrero. Near side now, Orjuela. Martinez. Maria Martinez. Needs an option, finds a tight space in front of her, doesn't have an option, shoots to the end zone. And that's grabbed on the D, but it looks like an injury at the same time as Sepefri just trying to reel that one in. Maybe a cramp or just rolled her ankle as she came down with that disc. A late stall count throw there from Martinez, but she really didn't have any other options.
She landed strangely and somehow ended up sitting with her legs crisscrossed into the end zone. Probably not comfortable. We wish her the best. So substitutions made on both sides of the disc.
Yeah, Bamboo putting Sarah Mextroth on. Always good to have that level of experience and the veteran Dragon Thrust player on the field. So see if she can help turn over this disc again, as Catherine Poran, previous traffic player, Capitals player as well from Ottawa. So a lot of experience on her side as well. She now shoots. That disc is going to fly well out of bounds. The wind pushing that, and Poran there with also no options upfield. Fusion starting to look a little bit tired here, Emmy.
There weren't many cuts under, if at all, and the ones that were very, very tightly guarded.
Karen Rico finds Eliana Rico. Rico shoots deep, looking for a receiver. Reeled in! What a grab by Ricarte. That's the second score in a row from Ricarte and for Bamboo. Within one, with only 2 minutes left in this game. 14-13. Fusion still leading, but triple game point now?
Ricarte immediately went for the end zone, and you could see they know they need to score quickly because Cap is rapidly approaching. But how about that athleticism? She grabbed the disc almost from behind over her right shoulder.
Yeah, what a great read with that kind of pressure as well from Kaya Seaman coming down her back. Two very similar players there, lots of height and speed, and Ricarte, it's the second time in a row she's done that. Incredible read on the disc from that player.
So there's only a minute left to Cap, but once a point starts, if the horn sounds, I should say, during this point for Cap doesn't start until the following point.
Absolutely. Bamboo with a chance to tie this up and bring this to Universe. They've scored the last 3 in a row. Big pull here. Fusion still desperate to close this game out. Lamb now. Looking for an option, looks for Norden. Norden reels that one in. Hatch now. Hatch shoots, looking for Krista Aitken. Aitken will reel that one into her hands, and Fusion on the 4th attempt manages to close this game out. 15-13 over Bamboo, and Emmy, what a game we just saw.
Never say never, and you can never, no lead is ever safe as well. Fusion having those breaks those couple of extra breaks that they had to start the game and then early in the second half is really what made the difference for them. Despite a late surge from Bamboo, they're able to hold on. This really shows, though, what Bamboo is capable of doing. And if they had started their run a little bit earlier, I mean, they were really on pace to potentially win the game had they not been in a hole.
Absolutely, and they did start to dig themselves out, but maybe it did just come a little bit too late. Full credit to them. They've had a great day so far, putting up 9 points against Brute Squad, now only losing 15-13 to Fusion. This pool with Russia Brilliance and Yaka out of France as well, an incredibly tight pool as well. So Fusion, will be interesting to see how they match up against Brilliance later today after Brilliance upset Yaka earlier in our live stream.
And really kudos to Fusion. They took care of business when they needed to take care of business. Bamboo, so athletic, not afraid to lay out. Barrero, just such a beast.
That, I still think that is the play of the game for me. I'm not sure she had to lay out for it, but the way it pumped up her team made it worth every single piece of that bid.
Valencia Arena as well with the nice angle on her throws, that foot block.
Yeah, I think Jolie Valenciarina, for me, MVP here for Fusion. Really just showing that she could do it on either side of the disc, scoring goals, throwing, I think, about 5 or 6 assists there as well. Karen Hatch for Fusion reeling into many of those points, and Anya Snyder, good to see that the injury didn't cause her any issues for the rest of the game. She came back on, went about every other throw each point she was on, so credit to them. Barrero again, absolutely heads up player. Barrero and Recuarte for me, phenomenal to watch them play here for Bamboo. Excited to see them in the rest of the week as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to our game here, women's division game between Columbia Bamboo and Canada Fusion. Fusion wins this one 15-13. We'll be back with more action soon.